Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly. This is primarily a drone show. We'll be sharing adventures from all over the world. We hope to have interesting guests every week, and we're glad that you tuned in tonight. We'll be flying different drones in different locations. We encourage viewer participation in the chat. If you have a question, don't be afraid to ask. Every week we'll have another interesting guest. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. We'll be sharing various adventures by our guests as well as myself. And thank you for joining us tonight. Hi, welcome everybody. Welcome to Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live. It's Thursday night, and I can't believe how the time is just flying by. And I know I say that every week, but it's true. I don't know about you guys, but here in New York, it's getting chilly. It's down in the 30s at night now. And it's almost time for this snowbird to be packing up and heading south. But anyway, it's good to see everybody in the chat. You know, I always appreciate that, and uh, it just makes me feel so much better when you see a few people in before the show even starts. But I have a great guest on the show tonight. He's one of the drone celebrities among us. And that's Dennis Lovelady, the uh, the the singing droner. And I tell you, I love Dennis. He's one of the first guys I started watching way back when I first started getting involved with the drone community. And I just found it so interesting the way he flies and plays the ukulele and sings and entertain us. But he's going to be in shortly. He's in the back room enjoying the shrimp and lobster, and I know you're gonna really enjoy seeing Dennis on the show tonight. But I tell you, um, I had a week. I was out there flying. I went out to Shinnecock Canal, and I flew my Mavic 3 with Joe Lee, that is. And but before I get into that, let me just welcome in everybody. Really, Ron Johnson, RJ Ariels, he was number one, and Paul Brown was right behind him. He was number two. How you doing, Paul? And John Olson, right here on Long Island, he was number three. How you doing, John? And yes, we will get out to the Shinnecock Canal, John. I'll definitely invite you the next time I go out there. But then we got Rob Kamada. He's watching tonight. How you doing, Rob? I know you gotta, take your nap before work. You get up early in the morning. So, but thanks for popping in. And we got Bill Ronayne watching. How you doing, Bill? Good to see you. Always good to see you. And we got Jeremy, some drone guy. He's watching out in Nevada. Maybe he likes being referred to as Vegas, but anyway, it's good to see Jeremy. How you doing? And Brian, Waypoint, New England. How you doing? Good to see you. And we got John Flynn, one of my biggest supporters, and I appreciate that, John, that you come in every week faithfully, along with everybody else. Really, it's mostly the same group of people. Every once in a while, we get new people, which is always nice, but it's always nice to see the old timers. So thank you, John. But anyway, yeah. Dominic's watching all the way in Australia. How you doing, Dominic? Good to see you. And Joe Fortaleo's watching down in Texas. How you doing, Joe? Um, Steve Janess is watching up in Vermont Views. He was my guest a couple weeks ago, and it was good to see Steve and have him on the show. But anyway, I don't want to miss anybody. Sky Control, how you doing? Good to see you. He's watching all the way out in Hawaii. And Chris Hope, another drone celebrity, is watching tonight down in Texas. How you doing, Chris? Good to see you. And let's see, I don't want to miss anybody. If I do, I don't do it on purpose. Bob Casey's watching. How you doing, Bob? In Western Kentucky. And while I'm talking about Bob, Bob's sponsoring the fifth annual South Florida Drone Meetup next year. He makes those beautiful custom made wooden American flag, and he agreed to donate another one for the fifth annual South Florida Drone Meetup. So thank you, Bob. We appreciate it. Let's see who else. Oh, we got Alan. Alan, Drone Views Media is watching in Ireland. How you doing? And I see I missed Eric. Eric Lipinski. Good to see you. And Eric, I think, is watching in Port St. Lucie, if I remember right. So, let's see. And we got Lawrence, Novice Quads. How you doing, Lawrence? Good to see you. And who else? Who else is in the chat tonight? Before I, all right, let's see. Stephen Drones is watching. How you doing? Good to see you. And I know it takes time to do this, but it's important to me. So, and we got Greg Pittman watching. How you doing, Greg? Good to see you. And we got Ronnie. God bless America. He's another one of our sponsors for this fifth annual South Florida Drone Meetup. Ronnie makes the custom-made wooden Betsy Ross American flags, and he agreed to donate another one for next year's meetup. So thank you, Ronnie. We appreciate it. All right, Mario Napa's watching. How you doing, Mario? Good to see you. And Warren's watching. Aki Rasho, how you doing? Hope you're feeling better. It's always good to see you lurking, though. Believe me, we miss you, and we're thinking about you and praying for you. And we got Bob Dempsey. Bob Dempsey's in the chat tonight. And you guys know that Bob is running a Vegas drone meetup next month, man. It's going to be here before you know it. Coming down to the wire now, November 8th to the 10th. And I think it's going to be a good one. So if you want any more information about that, get a hold of Bob. And I tell you, if it wasn't my anniversary week, I'd definitely be there. But unfortunately, it's my 52nd wedding anniversary, so I can't make the Vegas meetup. But anyway, if I missed anybody, I apologize ahead of time. But I just gotta say how honored I am to have Dennis come on my show. He's usually up bright and early at sunrise flying, and for him to come on Adventures with Captain Ray Kelly Live, it means so much to me. So I want everybody to please give a warm welcome to Dennis Lovelady, the singing droner. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, Captain, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good, thanks. Good, thanks.
Did you enjoy the shrimp and lobster in the back row?
Yeah, I just finished. There's none left here now. I was kind of hungry tonight, so it's all gone.
Yeah. So I tell you, Dennis, you were one of the first drone live streams that I started watching.
Wow.
I found out about you and the other sunrise live streamers, and I started watching you, and you were always so welcoming to me, and I really appreciated that.
Well, I love you all. You've been welcoming to me too. So it's all mutual.
But I'm still amazed that you can fly a drone and sing and play ukulele. How did you really actually learn that?
I really don't. I put the drone up, I point it in a direction that's not always correct, and I just leave it there, right, until it says, hey, my battery needs attention. So
yeah, no, but I mean, you play and you sing, you take requests from the audience.
Yeah, I try to do that. Yes.
And I just find it amazing, really. And you're a very good entertainer too. Really,
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But how did you get involved first in playing the ukulele? Because I know everybody in the chat wants to know about that. How'd you learn playing ukulele?
Well, I was doing live streams and I was kind of singing. First off, let me tell you, I'm a very shy person. I know you wouldn't believe it, just from what you understand about me now, but it's true. I'm not an open person usually, but I do love to sing. I grew up with singing, and that's what my whole childhood, what I remember of it was, we'd get together with my father's family particularly, and we'd sing. That's what we did. Um, but anyway, so I found that if I was singing, I was fine. I didn't have a problem with doing that openly. But anyway, so I was doing that, and I felt like I needed to have some sort of accompaniment. And I decided on ukulele because for a couple of reasons. One, it's supposed to be an easy instrument to play, and it turns out to be relatively true. And the other is that I could print one on my 3D printer. And so
Oh,
that's
okay.
what I did. Now, it wasn't a very good one, but it was one, and I was able to learn with it, and so on. But then after that, it wasn't very long after that that Rick Halber um, decided he would send me a ukulele. I think he got tired of hearing the plastic one. But anyway, he sent me a real ukulele, and the rest is it just went from there, right? So
A lot of
um,
people in the chat don't know Rick Halber. A lot of the old timers do, but Rick, he was such a great guy,
Rick
really.
Halberg was, to put it in a word, he was a heart. Rick Halber was a golden heart, and he was a everybody remembers him for what he gave to other people, but that's not all there was to Rick Halber. He wasn't just somebody that sent out free gifts or whatever. He was somebody who was a friend. He called. Um, I don't know if he called you, but there were other people that were in the hospital. He was in the hospital a lot.
I
Um,
remember that. Yeah.
and he called other people who were in the hospital and so on, and he just talked to them at length. And although he lived in California, he was a lot like Lance in that he almost never missed a sunrise, even though we were East Coast. You know,
Right.
and he just was always there and always friendly, and he became an icon, probably the most beloved icon in the whole drone community. And then he passed away in 2020,
Yeah.
2019. Um, when was the first drone meetup?
Well, again, Rick, like I say, he was a great guy, and we dedicate the South Florida Drone Meetup
We
to
did
him
this
every
year.
year. We started that the first year, and it I know it meant a lot to his family, but we miss him, and we still think of him, and we know he's looking down on us.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no question. Yeah, but yeah, he was. I took too many words to tell you, but he was the true. Anybody who doesn't know um, should, because he was the heart of this community in many respects. So yeah.
So anyway, how did you get involved with flying drones? When did that
Well, the
all
way I got
start?
involved with flying drones was that a guy from my church, who was his wife is my wife's best friend, and so we ended up going to the same church. And he was a Phantom flyer, right? He had a Phantom one, and they got a Phantom two, and then the Mavic Pro came out, and he told me about it, and he was all excited about it and so on, and he started introducing me to how they work and so on, and so I got on the bandwagon and ordered one before they came out, and I've been hooked ever since. So that was December 2018, right?
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah. I know it's amazing this drone flying hobby. You
right.
start flying and you get hooked. You
Yeah.
really do.
I think I signed up for it in August of 2018 because that was one of those drones that DJI introduced way before it was available. And yeah, I got on the mailing list or the order list for it early. So
We got a great crowd
not
in the
sure
house, and thank you all for watching tonight. But if anybody
yes.
has any questions for Dennis, uh, put them in the chat. I'll try to keep an eye out for them. and we'll try to answer them. Um, hey, Jack, Lake Pilot, good to see you, and Brad, Nana's Attic, good to see you.
You know, you're
But
very,
anyway,
very good with people's names. I'm like Pilot. I didn't know his name. There's a lot of people, you know, their personal names. I try to be good about that, but
Jack won a few prizes on the Fly for Fun show. We had to mail him some prizes.
well, be that as it may, and my hat's off to you with regards to your ability to do that. You're a very, very people-oriented person. So.
Well, thanks, Dennis. I appreciate that. I'm getting bad though. I'm gonna start taking that Prevagen. What is it called? Prevagen? Excuse
I
me.
don't
Let me.
know.
I gotta bend down and pick up my cheat sheet. The
Aha.
lucky numbers on here.
Aha. Okay.
So anyway, um, but Dennis, I gotta say, we missed you so much last year at the South Florida Drone Meetup. You've been
I'm so
entertaining
sorry I
us
couldn't be
at the
there.
meetup,
Yeah.
and we really missed you. We did, and I'm so glad that you agreed to entertain us again at the fifth annual South
Yes.
Florida Drone Meetup in April.
Absolutely plan to be there. So yes, nothing's
Yeah.
wrong.
So, but um, can you give the people in the chat maybe a minute of one of your songs or a song, whichever one you want to do?
Um, sure. Let me. Oh, by the way, I just Tuesday received this new ukulele. Now this is a baritone ukulele. I should show
Very
you
nice.
what the old one sounds like compared to the new one. But this was made by a luthier in Minnesota called
Wow, look at
Bonanza
that
Ukulele.
logo
Pete
on it and everything. I love it.
Pete and Shelley, my are they've been making ukuleles for a while. In fact, this is number 1116. The previous one that I usually play is this one here, and it also has my logo on it. It's also a Bonanza. It's
Yep, very
called
nice.
the Oreo. It's called the Oreo, but I don't know why. But anyway, so yeah, he put my logo on that too, but it doesn't say the thing drawn on. But just to give you an idea, this is a 5 steps higher than the new one. So this is
Okay.
like the thinnest strings on a guitar. So this is actually very like a guitar. And so because of that, I might make mistakes. I just got this thing Tuesday, but I know one song that you really, really like. And so I'm going to do that for you, for everybody. And that's Big Al.
Oh
You
yeah.
can tell them, you can tell
Dennis
them how Big
Dennis
Al came
just
to
to
be
let
there.
everybody know, Dennis composed this song for my cousin who no longer is with us. She passed away last year, but it meant so much that he composed this song, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Thank you, Dennis.
My pleasure. Every morning at the club, you could see him in the sun, 14 feet long and he weighed half a ton. A big bulge in the middle, pointy on the ends, and when you looked around, you didn't see no friends for Big Al. Nobody seemed to know what Al liked to eat. Maybe children and dogs were tasty treats. He didn't move much, just kind of lay there and grinned, but when he did decide to move, he was like the wind. Big Al. Big Al. Big Al, big fat Al. Then came that day, not far from the pier. Big Al spotted something that looked really dear. Pink flamingo standing all alone. Big Al couldn't tell it was made out of stone. Big Al, Big Al, Big Al, big nearsighted Al. Like a flash of lightning, he took off for his prey. Onlookers were stunned. They didn't know what to say. Wrapped his teeth around it, gave a mighty crush. And our valiant flamingo just crumbled to dust. Big Al. Well, they never replaced that worthless bird. And they didn't clean up that alligator's stuff. And everything's fine. And Al learned a lesson. And the people in town learned there's just no messing with Big Al. Big Al. Big Al. Big fat Al. Big Al. This is a different key because of being 5 steps down. Big Al.
That's a great song. Thank you so much for singing that, Dennis. Really, and composing it. You know, it really. And I, as you were playing it, I was trying to find a picture of Big Al, but I can't even find it on my phone. But let me tell you, Big Al was 14 feet long. You know,
He was 14 feet 1 inch, right? And that
I'm
was like
telling you,
it was a
really.
record length, I believe. And he weighed. I said he weighed half a ton. That's true. He
Yeah.
weighed 1,000 pounds. So,
No, I'm telling you,
yeah.
really.
Try to put
But
fat into these things. So
But I'm wondering if anybody else in the chat has flown over an alligator or by an alligator. You know, if you have, put it in the chat. And we got Paulie, just to let you know, Drum Bum is watching. You know,
oh,
how you doing, Paul?
hey Paul.
Um,
Mr. Baum. I almost never call him Paul publicly.
and we got Ted Nemeth in the house now. How you doing, Ted? Good to see you. Mark All White, good to see you. But anyway, yeah, so that song meant so much to my cousin and her husband, you know, and they both passed away this past year, and um, really, it touched their heart when you composed that song for them.
That's
Really,
good to
so,
hear.
and
I
we got
didn't realize that her husband
Philip
passed
Philip
away.
Koshat's in the chat. How you doing,
Hey,
Philip?
Philip. And everybody. I didn't greet anybody, but welcome.
I know it's nice having entertainment on the show. This is really a first, or maybe you did it one other time when you were on way back when.
I might have. I don't know.
Yeah, you know. But again, Dennis, thank you so much for agreeing to entertain us at the 5th annual South Florida Drone Meetup.
My pleasure.
And just if there's anybody in the chat who don't know about it, we're having it on April 4th to the 7th, 2025, at the Jensen Beach Causeway Park in Jensen Beach, Florida, and it's free to come. And we should believe it or not, the raffle prizes are starting to roll in. I'm starting to get them already, you know.
Wow.
And we encourage adults to bring children. But if you come in, let me know. I'll add you to the list. You know, I keep the list right on my phone and my iPad. We're up to 110 names on the list. And Philip Koshat, he wanted number 110, so he got 110. But anyway, and Lon Denard gave his commitment the other night. He's coming. He's 109. But anyway, and we all know who 107 is. and and his better half, Jenna, is 108. But anyway, we're gonna have a great turnout, and I'm so glad you're gonna be able to make it this year, Dennis.
Me too. I was in China. I couldn't. I just couldn't make the trip. So.
You know what you brought up China, and I know you had a great trip there.
I did.
I just happen to have one of your videos queued up from the trip. So let me see if I can bring it up, and maybe if you want, you can narrate over it.
Okay, which one is it?
Shanghai Grandview Garden.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's. I'm trying to remember now that I used to know the name of that tower, but anyway, this was Dacha. Oh, I can't remember the name of the place now. But anyway, the Chinese name of it. This was a this place is a historic place. It has a lot of history to it. That tower is not the original, but there was an original one that looked like that stood in that same place. And it was that tall, and they tried to reconstruct it like the original was. And all around it, there are buildings that are made to look like the buildings looked 1,000 years ago, which is what the approximate time that that tower was built was.
This
Um,
is cool
so
though.
yeah,
It really is.
yeah, it's a pretty place. There are a lot of places like this, and we got to visit a lot of them. This is not far from Shanghai, maybe about 2 hours, and I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a pretty place, very peaceful.
It is. This is such a treat. You flying over in China.
Yeah, well, that was an ordeal trying to get
But
to.
anyway, if anybody wants to see any more of that video, go to Dennis's channel. And by the way, if
Probably
you're
the
not
last.
subscribed to Dennis, subscribe to his channel right now. Don't wait
Thanks.
until after the show. Just go to his channel and subscribe. And while I'm talking about subscribing, make sure you're subscribed to each other too. It means a lot,
Yeah,
as we all know. So, but that's cool, flying in China, you know.
yeah. Getting the I don't want to call it a license. Getting permission to fly in China is if you're not Chinese, it's a bit of an ordeal.
Oh, okay.
You have to have a Chinese phone number, and in order to get a Chinese phone number, you pretty much have to be a Chinese person, a Chinese citizen. Even my wife can't get a Chinese phone number that's permanent, right?
Oh,
But
really?
yeah, and she is Chinese. She's still a Chinese citizen, but anyway, it's an ordeal, and everything is done by text messaging, and when you fill out the form there, I don't recall all the problems I ran into. I did document them, but just off the top of my head, I don't remember what it was, except I had to go through 3 or 4 different iterations. There were problems with the pictures that I had to submit.
Oh,
They
really?
don't, they don't tell you what the problem is or which picture, because there are 4 of them you must submit. And they say, there's a problem with your pictures. Please try again. That kind of thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And
Well,
it was,
Steve Janness loved his trips to China. He didn't fly there though.
yeah, yeah. But anyway, I finally did get the permission. The thing is, you have to have, no, there are 3 pictures that you have to send. And I had 4 pieces of documentation. I had my passport, my visa, which was in a different passport. And then
Thank you, Bob, for posting that.
yeah, thank you. Uh,
Bob just posted your channel.
Thank you very much. I don't remember what the other piece of information was, but anyway, it turns they didn't like my visa because I sent them my passport and my visa, and that third piece, whatever that was, they didn't like my visa because it didn't have the same passport number as the passport that I'd sent the picture from, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which it was a 10-year visa, right? And so it was on an older passport. The first passport expired. So I sent a picture. I don't recall what it was exactly, but I sent a picture of both passports and the visa. And they said, no, this is not acceptable because that other thing was missing. And
Yeah,
I
sure.
found a combination that worked. I don't recall what it was, but maybe I should be up to speed on this. I didn't expect a question.
Well, Dennis, just to let you know, Joe Fortaleo gave you 6 thumbs up.
How do you do that? I want to know how that's done. I want to do that for some people.
Yeah. Appreciate that, Joe.
Thanks, Joe.
So, but it's so good to have you on, really. Like I say, I know you a long, long time now,
Yeah. Well, I was
and
the first guy to come down there to meet up with you.
I know, and then you made a
Uh,
trip to come down. We got Charlie Mafia in the chat now. How you doing, Charlie? Good to
Hey,
see you.
Charlie.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, but yeah, you made the trip down, and you spent a couple of days, and we flew. I took you to the secret spot,
Ah,
and had a good time with you, and I appreciated that.
oh, I did too. Good. We've had some good. You got to ride in the Z4.
Yeah, and you took me for a ride in that cool BMW. Yeah, that
I
was
offered to
we
let
went
him
around the
drive,
parking
and
lot there, but it was fun.
offered to let you drive, but you didn't want to do it.
But I tell you, no, I would have felt terrible. Anything happened. But anyway,
Yeah.
what not to put you on the spot, what spot did you like flying the best when you were down in Florida, Jupiter area?
Jupiter Lighthouse,
The lighthouse. Yeah.
hands down.
Okay.
Yeah, I loved that. That was just well, and the weather was great. I had you there beside me for the first time ever in my life. It was just good, really, really good. I flew out to it. I did one of the best orbits I've ever done. And it just that's
That's
what I do
that's
with life.
such a great place to fly.
It is.
Du Bois Park
It is. Yeah.
is so cool. You get the boats going in and out of the inlet too,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And
And then as
you
far
don't
as
know this, but the US one bridge has been torn down, you know. They're building a new US
really
one bridge right there.
on
Yeah, it's
purpose
under
or did it?
construction. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh wow, I did not know
Yeah.
that.
So I it won't be done, I don't think, not even the one lane. They're saying March, but I don't think it's gonna one lane will be open in March
Oh
or
man,
April
that's
when the
a
South Florida
long,
drone meetup. But it's not too bad. You
long.
just
Wow.
go around on alternate A1A and you can get around. You can still get around. It's not that
Oh okay.
bad.
All right. Yeah. All
So,
right.
but again, we
But
got
yeah.
36 people watching, and
Whoa.
I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you all for tuning in tonight.
Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, my favorite non-drone place was the turtle. Uh,
Yep.
what is it? Turtle Preserve.
Marine Life Center. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Where they rehab the injured turtles.
Yeah.
Yep. That is
That's
cool. That is a cool place. No doubt
But
about
Ray
it.
and I did a lot of stuff. We got to see the Earth, Wind, and Fire tribute band. I don't recall what their name was.
That's right. We went to a concert. I forgot about
The
that.
concert, and oh my goodness, we've done so many things. It's fun stuff.
Yeah. It was fun. Definitely a good time. But
We went to that bee place and filmed the bee farm.
right, right. Yeah, I ended up having that non-paid job, but I always wanted to fly at a bee farm, a beehive, bee farm.
Yeah,
And you stayed and went there with me. We had two drones up filming all
we
the
did.
bees.
It
I mean,
was
there were thousands of bees. Hey, we got Mike Kelly in the chat. Copper State, how you doing? Good to see you. And now we got John, Connecticut Pirate. How you doing?
everybody.
Yeah, and you remember how our drones looked after we finished that bee flight? I
Yeah, they
mean,
were a little messy.
there was there was bee guts all over the lens of the camera.
Yeah, they,
and and the body of the camera, you
they were
know.
messy, and we
I
didn't
think we
fly
took out
near.
quite a few bees.
We didn't. We intentionally did not fly near the
No,
beehive. So on.
we
We were
didn't.
pretty high, but they and I was surprised, as a matter of fact, that we'd gotten any of them.
I
But
know.
yeah,
But
we
that
did.
was cool. That was different, right?
Yeah.
So Dennis, the Mavic 3 is my favorite drone. What's your favorite drone?
Oh yeah. Also the Mavic 3 by far. Yeah. It's all I need. I know they just came out with the 3S, the Air 3S, and all that other stuff. But yeah, it's going to satisfy me. I expect for. I don't think I'll buy another big drone.
I know. Hey, we got Sergio, Fly Zone FPV in the chat. How you doing, Serge?
Unless
But yeah,
somebody
no,
doesn't
you
want.
get the new drones come out, and
Yeah,
at least I do. I want to keep up, but then I don't. I'm very
yeah,
happy with my Mavic 3,
right.
and but so you have no intentions of getting that new. I was going to talk about that, the Air 3S.
No, no, I don't. Well, I'm on a fixed income now, right? So I'm retired, and you know how that goes. But it's not quite the same as it is when you say, I can just work extra hard, get a bonus. It's no problem. Those days are gone, right? So
Now,
um,
Dennis, you're part 107.
no,
Okay, no, okay, yep.
no.
Um, I know when Ron Brown and Marcus and Johnny and Bill, the drone review were on when that Air 3S was released. They were all buying it. They were all
Oh yeah,
buying it.
yeah.
You know.
I used to be in that club, right? I used to do that, but um, I think with the Mavic 2, I decided. In fact, I didn't expect to buy the Mavic 3, but I did something. I crashed my Mavic 2 or something. Something went wrong. I don't recall what it was. And
TJ's in the chat now. How you doing, TJ?
hey, TJ. Um, yeah. So anyway, I ended up with the Mavic 3, but that's the same way. I don't intend to upgrade it, or I don't intend to change big drones at all for a while. So
Yeah. No, I'm very happy. I really am. I love the Mavic 3. I
yeah.
can't say
Now
enough
I
good
did buy
things
the
about it.
Neo, and people talk about how the Neo is not a Mavic 3. Well, it's never intended to be, right? So I bought the Neo because my wife, and it turns out I think she's actually going to use it. My wife may
Oh,
use it,
really?
and
Okay.
if
I
she
didn't know
does,
you
it'll
had
be the
bought
first.
the Neo. Okay.
Yeah, it'll be the first piece of technology that I've seen her actually use, other than a phone, right? So she
Very
hasn't done
cool.
that, but she's very interested in it, and so on. So I really think, when we go on a trip, I think I'm going to see her use it, and that's what it was all about. That's exactly why I bought it. So now I
Great.
will use it too. I will. In fact, I've used it on my live streams, but as a backup medium only. But it works for that, sort of. It's okay, but that's not why I bought it. Yeah.
Right,
So
right. No, that's great. I know a lot
yeah,
of people bought that Neo, and
yeah.
I was tempted, you know. But while we're talking about the Neo, I just gotta show everybody this. I've been showing it every week now. But John sent me this nice little package, and along he has
Nice.
his stickers in here.
Oh,
John, Connecticut Pirate. But what else is in here is two Visa debit cards.
whoa,
And I
nice.
got to say thank you to John. And I asked him, I says, is it okay if we buy a Neo and give it away at the South Florida Drone Meetup? And that's what we're going to do. So
Cool.
thank you, John, really. But it seems like a cool little drone,
It
the
is. It's
Neo.
noisy. Noisy as
And
all
I'm
get.
not an FPV guy.
Yeah, no, I'm not either. Although having said that, I do have the goggles and I just got the RC, what do they call it? Anyway, that remote control for the FPV 3 remote controller, but I've not done anything with it yet. But I hope to sometime in the next few days.
And John says that if he wins it at the South Florida Drone Meetup, he's going to redonate it back to the community. And John's coming, just to let you know, he's bringing his wife, Holly,
Great,
to
fantastic.
the fifth annual South Florida Drone Meetup. So we're all going to get to meet Holly, and she's a drone pilot, just to let you know.
Oh my goodness, nice.
Yeah, so that's cool. But again, if anybody has any questions for Dennis, put them in the chat. Um, but I do a little tip of the week, as you know, on the show. Nothing sophisticated. And this week's tip is just I recommend using a takeoff or landing pad. Um, do you usually use a takeoff and landing pad, Dennis?
I
Or no?
usually don't. I don't take off from my hand, but I usually hand catch if I'm in like a sandy area or whatever. If I am in a sandy area and it's at all possible, I'll find some rocks to take off from. But I know that prop wash, it's a very good tip. That prop wash can damage your camera. It can damage your motors. There's a lot that can go wrong because you didn't use the landing pad. And so I guess I'm guilty of that from time to time, but it's good advice.
Yeah, no, no. I flew in Cabo San Lucas and I had a hard landing in the sand. Not that I would have had a landing on my landing pad with that hard landing, but it would have prevented grains of sand from getting in the motor and jamming it up.
Right,
So
that
ever since that, I try to use a landing pad 99% of the time.
Yeah, it can get in the motors. It can also get in the gimbal and mess up the works there. So I've been
Yes.
blessed in that hasn't that hasn't happened to me, but yeah, it certainly could. I know it
But
happened.
anyway, um, I do have another video, and
Uh-oh.
this is you performing at the South Florida Drone Meetup 2 years ago. So let's show a
Okay,
little of that.
cool.
Drones again,
And this is a
the
good
most
song
gorgeous
too.
sights that you can ever imagine.
That's the probably the most popular song that I've written.
Okay, yeah.
Flying drones again, up in the air where life is
But we appreciate it
flying.
so much, Dennis, that you
Don't wanna come
entertain
down,
us. Hey, we got Tar Ariels in the chat. How you doing? Good to see you.
fly drones again.
Take a look at that setup there. That's all compliments of Tony.
Yes,
Tony set it up really, really
Tony's another
nicely.
sponsor. He donates
Yeah,
that, and
and
but anyway, you're entertaining us
Drones
is
flying
great,
high,
Dennis.
you can
oh,
imagine.
thank you.
So thank you
The
again, really.
weatherman,
I love doing it. You know that. So
Yeah.
you
Well,
give
it
me an
turns out,
opportunity.
Tony ended up getting some other entertainments when it turned out that you couldn't make it,
Yeah,
and they turned out to be pretty good.
well, that's
So
great. I'm happy
yeah,
to hear.
um, I'm trying to look at the questions, see if there's any questions in the chat. I don't see any, um, but a lot of times I miss them.
I don't think I'm going to. Bob Casey said I should use AI to get my next drone song. I like writing my own. I really, really do, and I don't feel like it's cheating. Um, it's just not my style, I guess.
Okay, I've made one, and Jeremy had made some for myself and Johnny and
Right.
for the Fly for Fun show, and
Yeah.
it was pretty cool that
Oh,
AI.
it's amazing. It is absolutely. I won't say I haven't played with it. I have. It's amazing. But I don't know. I get a kick out of saying I did that. You know.
No, I mean I'd be the same way, to tell
Yeah.
you the truth, really. You know. Um, but anyway, so tell us how you became involved with the Sunrise Crew and how that all came about.
Well,
You know.
okay. So I was a fan of Drone Bum since the time he posted a completely drone unrelated video about fixing his kitchen sink. I loved his sense of humor. I loved the fact that he had cat in his video. I just I felt like Drone Bum and I could be good friends, and so somehow we did end up being very good friends. And then he was doing a sunrise live stream in 2018 in November at Jones Beach, and I happened to be working in New York at that time. And of course, I arranged all this with Drone Bum, but we and Michael, um, Philly Drone Life converged on Drone Bum on a week that he called something special. That it just the three of us, Philly Drone Life and Drone Bum and I, just hung out all day long, and we had a great time. Sometime during the course of that, one of them, not me, thought, wouldn't it be cool if we followed the sun from New York to Georgia, as a
Hmm.
and I don't remember. I don't remember if it was Philly Drone Life, if it was Michael or if it was Paul, but one of those two came up with that idea, and I was, yeah, let's do that.
It is.
And
It's a
so,
cool thing. It
oh,
really is.
it wasn't long after that we started it off, and then Jim Hightower, Help at Home Jim, did his he joined in and did from Texas, right? And
I started watching after I guess Philly had stopped and Jim Hightower stopped. That's when I started watching.
well, Jim Hightower kind of passed it off to Chris Hope, right?
Yep.
And
Hmm.
Chris Hope became the Texas contingent, right?
Yeah. Right.
And in the course of things, we've had others along the way.
But it
Les Fink,
was
who's Exploration Obsession, he used to be involved, and I know I'm forgetting someone, but now Drone Bum has been replaced by Drone Psyche.
right, Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
Charlie.
they were a threesome there for a while. You
Right,
know.
Carlos kind of dropped out,
Yep.
but Charlie and Paul still on Sunday mornings almost every time they're together. You know, I love the comedy between those two. That they're great together.
I know. No doubt about it. You
They're
know.
like an old married couple. They're just great together. They are, and I don't mean that in any negative way at all, but they are very much. And the way Charlie has grown this capability, anybody can join in with him now, which is a cool thing. I don't know if that's going to work for me because of what I do. I don't have enough hands to do another thing, right? But maybe it will work. I don't know. But
Well, I know when I started watching Paulie, he was the
yeah.
first one on, and I got such a kick out of it. And then when I found that he's right from Long Island,
Oh, right. Yeah.
I said, "Oh man, maybe one day we'll hook up." And sure enough, within a couple of months, we hooked up, and we met at the Shoreham Nuclear Power Plant.
Yeah.
And I found out that Paul was such a great guy, and a
Oh,
great drone pilot.
he and I are still great friends, but
Yep.
we don't get to see each other enough. And Bob Casey's telling the truth. Bob Casey is the guy who tagged me with this name, the singing droner.
Oh, okay. That's where you got the
Uh,
name from,
oops,
Bob
I
Casey.
can't. I can't. I don't work with mirrors. You can tell, right? But anyway, that name. Um, yeah, Bob Casey gets all the credit for that name. So
Well,
I
it's a very appropriate name. That's for
well,
sure.
it's a very creative name, and I really like the way it fits me. So yeah, I've stolen that name for my own use. But yeah, I
Have a
always
good one,
used
Ron.
to
Have a good
credit
one.
Rick Haber with it because I was not sure. But it turns out that it was actually Bob who came up with that. So Bob, please forgive me for miscrediting that.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, yeah, I had the pleasure of flying this week with Joe Lee. He's a new guy, um, and I had shown him a mini 4K. I gave him a little demonstration, and within a week, he went out and bought one.
Oh my.
And then within a week, he upgraded to the Mini 3. So, but that was because he had a problem downloading the Fly app, and he wanted
Oh,
to get that controller, the RC controller.
right.
But he's been flying, and he's only been flying 3 months, Dennis. And I just want to show a little bit of his
Yeah.
flying right now because he is amazing. For only flying 3 months, he he really knows how to fly great, really. So let me see if I queued this up. Yeah, I think this is the right place right now. So here it comes. But look at the way he's flying
And
already.
Joe was really having a good time with his.
He's over water. That's one thing that took me a while.
I mean, I
Oh,
still,
under a
That Joe
bridge.
was
He's
going to
gonna
try
do
to
it. He
navigate
did
onto
it.
the
Oh
train
my
bridge.
goodness.
He's a
yeah,
brave drone pilot, much braver than me.
I couldn't believe that he was
He turned the
flying under
drone
this
around, and he
train
did it
bridge.
again.
Wow. Yeah, that still
Let me
makes
know
me
what you
nervous.
think of Joe
Still.
flying.
Needless to
Flying
say, I
better
didn't
than
fly
Joe's
under
only
the
been
bridge. I
flying
flew
three
over the
months.
bridge.
Yeah.
Let me know in the
Having
comments.
said
if
that,
you
when I
like
was in China, I
flying
flew
under
through a
bridges
bunch of tunnel
with your
bridges,
drone.
a bunch of them, but they're not metal.
I got to figure out how to make it a full screen. All right, I think. Oh, I'm gonna mess it
Kudos
all
to
up.
Joe.
How's that? Oh, there it is. All right, now I know how to make it a full screen from now on. I'll try to do that.
Another large boat was entering the
But
box,
anyway,
Well,
so
we
I
that's
had
took a
beautiful.
look
fun,
at it.
and this is why I didn't want to do it. Hmm.
That's a great drone, the Mini 3. That's what I filmed in, that's what I used in China, the Mini 3.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Oh man, I'm telling you.
So I have the Mavic 3, the Mini 4, and the Neo, and I'm completely satisfied with what I have.
Yeah. No. No. Um, we're gonna show a little of you flying in China again shortly, but I have a little format too, Dennis, and I do a little monthly giveaway. It's not much.
Right.
It's for a $10 Amazon gift card, and
Yeah.
it's a very sophisticated contest. You just got to put in your lucky number,
Yeah.
and
I don't
you're
know the
eligible
numbers, but
too, Dennis, because
I
you don't
can't
know
look
what it
for it.
is. So now's the time. 1 to 25. Put it in the chat, and I'll try to keep an eye out for it. Nope, Paulie, not 67.
1 to 25. No, that doesn't work.
Oh man. But anyway, I always miss it. 99% of the time I miss it. But um and then usually Paul Wedgenbig or somebody else is gonna say, Ray, somebody else got it first. But I don't see it yet. A couple of people are close. Somebody's very, very close. Um yep, a couple of people are very close. They're missing it. I might have missed it already, but maybe not. I don't see it. Oh, I do see it. All right, I do see it. Somebody got it. What the heck is it now? I just saw it. It was number 18. I know I saw somebody get it.
18, huh?
Yeah, but the name went by
My
so
guess is
quick.
18.
Yeah.
How close? Eight, you
Did
saw
anybody see
18?
who got 18? So I can congratulate him?
The 8.
Bill Grace. Yeah, Bill Grace. All right. I'll put your
Okay, there
name
it is.
in the hat
Bill
and
Grace also guessed 8. 8 and 18.
congratulations.
Congratulations, Bill.
Your name is going in the hat. But anyway, so that's just another way to have fun.
Where are the hashtag rigged messages? What's going on?
I know, Warren. How come you're not saying rigged? I know. Okay, but anyway, yeah. Usually everybody says rigged, rigged. I
Hey,
know.
rigged. I didn't win. How come?
Yeah,
It's all fun.
but anyway. Oh, Jody. People are saying Jody got it. It wasn't Bill Grace. Jody got it before.
Drone shots.
All right, I go over to chat again tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, he got it after. Yeah, Jody. Jody got it last week, I think, though. He got the lucky number. So, but anyway, so you do a lot of traveling.
I do.
Where have you found it to be the best location to fly?
To fly. Gosh.
All right, Mike saying TJ got it first. Okay, all right, TJ, I will check it. All right,
Okay.
definitely.
Cool. I'm going to say Utah.
Where?
United States, Utah.
Okay, Utah. I didn't
Yeah.
expect you to say that.
I
Okay.
love the rock formations and so on that they have all over Utah. I mean, there's so many. I've seen so many things, right? Australia has its own kind of landscape, and China has its own kind of. I mean, there are so many places like the Shanghai Grand, right? There's so many places like that, but then again, they're all like that, right? The what I saw in in Utah for me was
Utah. Joe
it was
Leo.
interesting everywhere I looked. I don't know, for me.
Yeah. Well, that's different.
Yeah,
I didn't think you were going to say that. But I've seen videos on Utah, and it is beautiful in
it
its
is.
own way, you know.
Right.
Those rock formations and the mountains are amazing,
They
really.
are. They are. And so,
But
yeah,
anyway, TJ, I will definitely check the name again, and I'll change it if it needs to be changed, TJ.
yeah. But if you
Uh,
ask me tomorrow, I'll probably give you a different answer. Right. So,
See, now it's funny because I thought you were going to say China. I really did.
well, China is amazing. It truly is. But like I said, um, there are a lot of things like that, but to me, they all start to look similar to one another once you're done. Right.
Mickey moves in the chat. How you doing, Mickey? now, now they're gonna buy it from TJ if he wants.
250 cash.
Oh, this is funny. That's the first. And we got Herman in the chat. How you doing, Herman? Good to see you.
Hey, Herman.
But I tell you, really, like I said, Dennis, you were one of the first that I started watching. You, Paulie, um, and I was so impressed. I really was. And Rodney, I can't forget Rodney.
No, of course not.
You know, and Chris Hope. And then Ra, Raj used to fly too.
Raj,
You remember? Or he was in Arkansas, if I remember right.
you, you're talking about, oh, Razi.
Razi, yeah, Razi. I
Yes,
call him
Fly
Raj.
Natural. Yes,
Yeah,
right.
Fly Natural. Yes.
Yes, yeah, he used to be, um, yeah, Rodney kind of took over Philly Drone Life's place
Thanks, Mark.
when Michael bowed out. Rodney took his place, and yeah, so it's been through a few iterations, but
Yeah, Roosevelt. Yes, Roosevelt. That's right.
right.
Yeah. But
I
yeah, we
Razi.
we really look forward to it every weekend. We
Yeah.
do.
Well, that's good. That's good. It's all, like I said, somebody else's idea. I'm just kind of along for the ride. I'm in the middle of the, on the Sunday, I'm the guy stuck in the middle, so that's cool.
Uh huh. Yeah. Well, again, I think you're great. I'm one of your biggest fans.
Oh, thanks, Ray.
So,
Thanks, Captain.
but I'll tell you, had a great crowd in the house. Thank you all for watching tonight.
Yeah.
Really, it means a lot. When we do these live streams and people tune in, make their comments, and I love reading the comments too. It's hard to keep up. At least for me, it's hard to keep up with all the comments.
Really hard for me to keep up with the comments.
You do a good job though. You sing and you keep
Well,
an eye out on the comments and you welcome the people in. But you know what I get a kick out of is your requests. And maybe we can do it tonight. If anybody has a request for
oh
Dennis,
boy.
put it in the chat right now and maybe we'll close out the show that way.
Oh boy. Sorry, we're out of time.
Uh,
All right.
but
Sing a song for us before the show ends. Okay.
all right, we got a question. Oh, you want to know? No, it's not about me, but I
Joe Fodolio has asked for one piece at a time.
all right, there we go.
How did you
Well,
get into flying? Oh, okay. How did you get into flying
no,
drones?
no, no,
I'm
no,
looking it
no.
up.
I bought a
I'm
toy
looking it
drone
up.
and that got me hooked. Put it that way.
All right, one piece at a time. I know we're out of time. I don't know who we're stepping on, but I want to say something I was saying to you before that you didn't realize, and I don't think other people do too, either. Those people who go live after 8 o'clock, I usually miss them, and the reason is that my wife and I have a routine that we watch something together right after she finishes her shower, which is usually about 8 o'clock. And so if you show up starts at 8 o'clock or after. And I've not been there. Now, hopefully, you know why. Okay. Anyway, so
So,
that's
Dennis, if you want to say your goodbyes as you're singing,
okay.
feel free. But thank you
Well,
for being on.
thank
You were
you
a great guest.
everybody for being there, being here. I appreciate it. I know we're out of time, so well, I left Kentucky back in '49. Went to Detroit working on the assembly line. First year they had me putting wheels on Cadillacs. Every day I'd watch them beauties roll by, and sometimes I'd just hang my head and cry because I always wanted to be one that was long and black. One day I devised myself a plan that should be the envy of most any man. I'd sneak it out of there in a lunchbox in my hand. Now, getting caught meant getting fired, but I figured I'd have it all by the time I retired. I'd have me a car worth at least $100,000. I'd get it one piece at a time, and it wouldn't cost me a dime. You'll know it's me when I come through your town. I'm gonna ride around in style, gonna drive everybody wild, 'cause I have the only one there is around. So the very next day when I punched in with my big lunchbox and help from my friends, I left that day with a lunchbox full of gears. Now, I'd never considered myself a thief, and gee, it wouldn't miss just one little piece, especially if I strung it out over several years. The first day I got me a fuel pump, then the next day I got me an engine and a trunk, then I got me a transmission and all the chrome. The little things I could put in my big lunchbox, like nuts and bolts and all four shocks, but the big